think a lot about structure and stability when you're doing a house of cards. You really want this thing not to fall down. Believe me, I put a lot of time into this. Today we're going to be looking at bridges, and we're going to see why bridges fail. You're going to want to pay close attention to the forces that are going on in a bridge, because later you're going to be building your own. It's going to be awesome. All right, so today we get to actually test our own bridges. So I have 3 different kinds of bridges that I want to make. So let me show you kind of the materials that I'm working with here. I'm going to start with just a sheet of paper that has kind of a river drawn on it. Give me an idea of the span at which I have to go across. You don't need this actual sheet of paper. You could draw a river on a sheet of paper or just pretend that there's a sheet of paper down there. But we can imagine there's a river or something that we need to bridge across. I have some books here that are going to be my abutments. And an abutment, of course, is the sides of the bridge where the masonry, where the forces are actually going to be pushing down on. So this would be like a hill or the actual valley that fills the sides of the river. So this would be land. So now I want to make a bridge. Now to make a bridge, you've got several materials that you could use. I'm going to use some note cards. I have these large note cards that I'm going to use so you can kind of see them. If you want to make a smaller version, you could use a regular note card, or you could even use just some sheets of paper to make your bridges. So I'm going to work with some note cards. The first bridge I want to make is actually a beam bridge. This is a bridge that just goes straight across like this. And on your worksheet, you're going to see there's a picture of a beam bridge that you can start to adjust. What I'm interested here is how many pennies this will hold, how much of a load this will hold before it fails. So I can start placing pennies on here and seeing what happens, what kind of movement that there is on the beam bridge. On your worksheet, describe the kind of movement that you're seeing as you place pennies on this bridge, and then let us know how many pennies it takes to fail. What did the bridge look like right before it failed? Give us a description, either draw it on the drawing or just kind of describe it underneath in terms of why you think it failed and what it looked like before it failed. That's a beam bridge. The second bridge I want to make is actually called a deep beam bridge. Kind of like a truss bridge. This has supports in it. You'll see a lot of beam bridges that have those supports underneath them or on top of them. To do that, I'm going to take another note card and I'm going to make kind of a accordion, looks like an M on it. I did that by basically folding the card in half and then folding these sides in half as well. These are going to be supports for my bridge. So I'm going to set this right on top of my beam bridge here, the bottom of my beam bridge. It looks like I'm going to need 2, so I've got 2 of these that I'm going to set here. Then I'm going to take another note card as my actual bridge, and I'll just put that on top. This is what's known as a deep beam bridge. It has the beam bridge, but it also has those diagonal supports that you see in a lot of bridges. Test this one and let me know how it fails, how many pennies can it hold, and what was the issue with this? What kind of engineering, civil engineering solutions could we have to make this bridge even more stable or stronger? The third type of bridge that I want to do is that arc bridge. Do you remember that arc is kind of like it has this arc on it? Sometimes the arc is on top with cables that are attached to the bridge. I'm going to put my arc on the bottom down here. So I've got an arc and I want to kind of make it about the same, my note card about the same height as my books. And then I'm going to put my bridge on top of that. So this here's an arc bridge. We have the arc supporting the middle of the bridge. How many pennies is this going to hold? How does it move as you add weight? And how does it fail? What kind of solutions could we have to make this bridge better? Have fun testing these bridges today. Next time, we're going to start designing our own bridge. We're going to design it from scratch using something called the engineering design process. So you're going to learn a lot today about what makes bridges fail so that you can use that when you start to design your own bridge to hold much bigger loads. Have fun today, make some really cool stuff, and be sure you fill out your worksheet so that you can turn it into your teacher. If you have any questions, please let us know. I'll see you next time.